Alison, you share the screen?
Yes, so we're very happy to be with you again. Thank you for taking time off from your other lecturers. So I'm Alison Gorbach Hayward. I am British, but I have lived in France for longer than I lived in Britain. And I teach English and also intercultural communication. And Katie and I do quite a lot of research as well on things like mediation, and the competences you need to communicate in a globalized world. And we'll be sharing some of those ideas with you today. And we would like it to be as interactive as possible given the distance learning.
Well, so I'm Cathy Sablé, working with Alison. I'm French, as you can notice from my accent. And
Lovely.
so I'm teaching French as a foreign language and intercultural communication with Alison. So today we are going to see what we can do. As Alison, we will try to be as interactive as possible. So let's start by trying to share the screen. And then we will see what is possible.
Do you want me to start with?
Okay, well, as you said, the first slide is okay. We can go to the second one, I think.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, okay.
Should I leave it like that? Because if I put it into
yes, let's leave it this way. Okay. For the moment, what we would like to do, you've been spending about 2 months or 3 months together, working together. I'm speaking to you, students. I hope you can hear me. Can you raise your hands, for example, if you hear me? Or something like this. Can you make a sign? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you.
Hello.
So I don't have we don't have the feeling talking in an empty zone. Thank you. So we would like to see, you've been working together for about 2 months, 2 months and a half, and let's see how far you manage to know each other. We would like to see what is happening when we work online. So we are going to ask you some questions. You can see the questions, and you will try, everybody can try and answer and give a name from your team. And we will see if the person in the team do agree. The problem is that they are not always here. So let's try and see what you can tell us about the people from your team. So first question, for example, is there a night person in your team? Maybe you can write name if there's this kind of...
There is a chat, but I can't see it. If I'm sharing my screen, I can't see it, so I can't.
Just not touch your screen. For example, Gabrielle. Hi. Gabrielle Veselovac.
Sorry, I'm the other Gabriel, but I can answer too.
Hi.
Hello. You are my victim. My first victim. Sorry. So, in which group were you? Which case? Number?
I was in case number 8.
Number 8.
Products.
Are there any members of your team today?
I'm not on my phone and I can't really see.
Okay, so maybe you are the only one from your team. Let's see if you manage to know more about the members of your team. Do you think there is a night person in your team?
To be honest, I'm not sure about that. I'm sure from these questions, I'm sure 100% sure about one who can speak French. Our team leader, I know he can speak French.
Yes. How can you be so sure?
Because I heard him talking with our supervisors too. And I think he told us that like on the first team meeting.
And what is his name? The one who can speak French?
Tamas is his name. But I don't think he's here right now.
No, okay. And for example, is there anyone who can play the guitar? Or you don't know? You just know about someone speaking French in your team. Yes.
Yeah, from these questions, yes.
From this question, well, that's not so bad. 1 out of 9 questions.
Maybe, if I could say, maybe you have other information you could give us about the people in your team, Gabrielle? Anything interesting about the people in your team?
I don't-
Did you hear my question?
yeah, I heard the question, but
Is it indiscreet?
sure what I can say about them.
Difficult. Okay,
Where were they from? Where were they from?
Well, 2 of them are from Hungary,
Uh-huh.
and another one is from, I don't remember if it's Slovakia or Croatia, but I think Slovakia.
And where are you from?
I'm from Romania.
You're from Romania.
So a
Okay,
nice
nice.
mixture. Okay.
Let's try Adam. Thank you, Gabrielle.
Yeah, thank you too.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, but not so good. It's
Yeah,
and we
maybe
can
if
see
I
you.
hold
It's so
it
nice
closer.
to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Hello.
Yeah, so for the first question, I'm in team number 1. And as I can see, all of us are here, which is a good thing, I guess.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And for the nice person, I would say Mingyan, probably, but mainly because he lives in China. So he's in a very different time zone, right?
So you have to be. Ming Shen, are you here? Hello.
Yes.
So do you think you are nice to see you? Do you think you are a night person?
No. I usually sleep. I usually go to bed early.
Okay. But you have to this time.
Yes, but we have the time difference.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. So Adam, can you try and answer other questions about your team?
Well, I'm not sure about. I don't think anyone speaks French from the team. I know that Mingyan studies at France, but I don't think.
Where are the other?
Oh, come on, Mingxian, can you speak French to show Adam that you can speak French?
Oui, Adam, on fait, je peux parler français.
Oui, tu sais parler français.
Okay, then maybe you can. Yeah, that's good.
Yes, I study with my French classmates and the courses are in French.
Yes.
Then you must be very good, right?
Yes.
Yes, maybe.
Very modest.
No, he's good.
Where are the other people from, Adam, in your team?
Okay, can you repeat the question, please?
So where are you from? I'm sorry, I don't know you.
Yeah, I'm from Hungary, and the other ones are Gabriel is from Croatia.
Uh-huh.
Tima is from Slovakia, and Pauline is from Bulgaria.
Okay, a nice mixture again.
Yeah.
Thank you. What about the other questions?
These are quite difficult ones. I would say the funniest person from the team is Gabrielle, because we were chatting not with voice chat but with texting and most of the time, and I think Gabrielle is the funniest one from the group. I don't know if the others agree with me, but in my opinion, yeah, the other ones are pretty hard. I guess Gabrielle can play the guitar too, or the piano. I'm not quite sure which one.
Okay, Gabrielle, can you play the guitar or the piano?
Both, actually.
Gabrielle can do everything, apparently.
Yes. I'm the
So
whole
you are
team.
the funniest one. You can play guitar and piano. What? Is it the same Gabriel we had? No. There are two Gabriels, so.
No, it's the other. It's the other Gabriel.
Belle.
Yes, so two Gabriels. Okay. And another team. So we had one member from team 1, team 8. Can we have someone from another team? Jens Schiverling?
Yes, of course. Good morning to each other. Yes, I'm team member of Team 2, self-driving tractor, and I see only one in the team is here. That's Leon. Leon is from, I think, Croatia, and
Hi guys.
Hi Leon.
Hi.
University of Osijek, I think. No, it's right.
Yeah.
Okay, and our startup is a self-driving tractor, and Leon is a very active person in our team. And
Good. And what can you tell us about the other members of your team? If you look at the questions.
I think, Leon, are you a fan of Elon Musk? I don't know.
Well, yeah, kinda.
Can you tell us who is Elon Musk? Because maybe he's not so well known in France.
Okay, Elon Musk is the CEO of Tesla, manufacturer of electric cars, and the main competitors are maybe BMW i3 model and Mercedes-Benz EQV vehicle, and its main targets are electric drivers.
Jens, are you sure you are not a fan of Elon Musk too?
I'm a fan of Elon Musk.
Where are the others from in your team?
We have a few others. It's Pavol. It's from Zilina. Guilherme, it's from IMT Atlantique. Leon is from Croatia. Osijek. And David, it's from University of Gair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Who has never been abroad? That's an interesting question. Who has never left their country? Anybody?
Yes. Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Nope.
So everybody has already left once his country or her country. Ah, that's great.
If we ask the babies who were born last year, nobody has been abroad. But we are lucky. We were born before.
Well, I think you see, you managed to answer a few questions, so that's great. Can we go to the following slides?
I hope so. So, can you see it, Katie?
Yes, thank you. So you said the goal was to discover how we manage when we work online to reach otherness. And in fact, when we go from some studies, we can see that we need some specific items to manage to consider the other as human beings. For example, of course, we need to hear you. So there is the verbal dimension. Because as you know, in any communication, we have all this non-verbal dimension. And even online, it's quite important. That's why, for example, I ask you, can you raise a hand before? Otherwise, I had the feeling I was just talking to an empty black screen, you see? So this non-verbal dimension is quite important, which means the importance of the body, because if we do not see any people with a body, we do not have the feeling they are real human being. So, for example, I don't know. So we've seen Adams, Jens, Borjana Stojcheva. Student. We cannot hear you. Can we see you? Are you a student from? No. I'm sorry, we cannot hear you.
Yes, exactly.
Agnieszka, I know Agnieszka. Are you here, Agnieszka?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Agnieszka. Does your camera work?
Let's see. It should.
What I'm trying to show you. Hello.
Yes, hi.
We feel more comfortable when we see the person over there. I know sometimes it's difficult because the connection is not so good and so on. And can I ask you to show me one thing from your room?
Mm-hmm.
Take one thing behind you and show it to us.
Can I be in the front? Somewhere.
In front, okay.
Anything you like.
Oh, that's today the 10th of May. Thank you.
It's very old school Polish calendar, like very old school. If you rip the page.
That's a good idea. I can only see people when they're speaking because I'm sharing the screen. So when you speak, it's great. I can see you now, Agnieszka, so it's lovely. But otherwise, I can only see the person who is speaking with the screen, and that's very difficult. Yeah, very strange.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us something about your team very quickly, Agnieszka, before? Sorry, Katy, interrupting. I'm so happy to see somebody.
Yeah, our team is I am from Poland. I live in Finland. Then there is Tomislav. He is from Croatia. Zombor from Hungary, I think, yeah, and Maria from Spain. So yeah, and that's us. There was one more person in the beginning, but he left before everything. So yeah.
Agnieszka is from my team.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
She has not seen me very much.
I'm sorry?
You didn't see me so much.
Well, times.
You can say it. You can say it.
Times, yes.
Okay, so Poland to Finland, is there are lots of differences?
It's Europe, so not huge ones, but of course little aspects of everyday life. Yes, and people are quite different too. So the culture is a bit different than to Polish one, definitely. Different mentality a bit.
Could you give one example, maybe? Then I'll shut up.
I would say that Finns are able to be more relaxed and be happy with what they have more than Poles do.
Okay.
That was my first thing that really attracted me here. Yeah.
How long are you staying?
It's been nearly 5 years, and I live here. It might be forever, but let's see.
Okay.
Who knows?
Thank you. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, back to you, Katy. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay. We are here to manage to get a little each other because we need to have this human feeling when we want to work together. So to go further, we will see how we go from what is happening when we work together and when we see people or when we see things and when we try to know people from their things. I will show you a picture and okay, I will show you you will have to answer questions from the pictures, but as you might have noticed, it's quite difficult for me to use this Teams thing. So when you have the questions, please take a picture of the questions, because then you will only have, you will be in another room. So you will need to take pictures of the questions and the objects. 2 slides, please. So slides following one, please, Alison. This is the question you will have to answer. So please, can you take, I don't know, a picture of the screen, because you will need to remember these questions. Did you do that, everybody?
Yeah.
Thank you. So now you need to see the objects.
Okay, so I'll try and put it on full screen.
Yes.
Is that on full screen for you, Katina?
Not for me, but I don't know for you, for the others. Is this a full screen or not?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Strange. Okay, I have to leave it like that then. Now it's okay?
So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 objects. Yes?
Yeah.
Everybody can see 4 things on the floor. I asked a friend to picture 4 objects, and you will have to guess how old is it, a he, a she, and how old, and so on. You have the questions, yes? You have the questions, you have the things. Now you will be separated into, Eva, how many groups can we make?
I will make it.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
So, from now?
Yes.
Okay.
But they have to have the questions and the pictures. And you have to answer the question. You will have about 15 minutes to answer together the questions, and then you come back. Is it clear?
Yeah. So.
So there were.
Yeah. I think students are back.
Okay. So there were 3 groups.
3 groups, I think. Yes.
One group is still closing. Okay, so all groups are closed.
And they are back here. Is everybody back?
I can see 13.
Okay. So for example, could group 1 switch, all the students could switch their camera on and tell us about the owner of these things. Okay?
I think we are group 1.
Yes, I don't know who is group 1, so I just said group 1.
let's say we are.
Adam, I'll save you.
With Adam, can you switch all your camera on and tell us about, so you remember we had 4 items.
Yeah.
And from there, we were wondering, is the owner a man or a woman? What is your conclusion?
Okay, so the main problem for us was that we couldn't quite identify 2 items out of the 4.
Okay, let's see them. Which ones?
Obviously, we recognize the hammer and the Indiana Jones movie, but we weren't sure about that black box thing.
Yeah, it's difficult.
I look at it better now, and I think it's a pen, like stylo or something.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a pen.
Okay, that helps us more with the questions.
I thought it was a pair of glasses, spectacles.
And this is oh, sorry, with my token. This is a pen from. I asked some friends, so this is French. I don't know if this is what we call a Mont Blanc pen. You know what? I don't know.
Expensive, very, very expensive pen.
And what's that pinkish thing?
This is You know, for coffee machine, a capsule from coffee.
Ah,
Yeah, that was my guess. Yeah.
That's what was
Something like you
yeah.
can see Nesto Gusto or something like this.
Yeah.
Okay, now you know what it is. So can we? Is it easier to answer the question?
Yeah, I think our answers would be very
Okay,
different,
listening to your
but still,
answers. Okay.
we're quite certain that it's a man,
A man. Okay.
and we guessed that he is around 35 or 40.
35, 40. It's quite precise, yes?
Yeah. And we said that he's probably middle class, married.
Why? Can you
Married,
explain how you came to this conclusion?
Yeah, sure. So for the age, we were guessing based on the Indiana Jones movie because it's quite old. So to know it and like it, he has to be around 35 to 40. For the middle class and married, we were talking about the hammer, and I don't know. It was an educated guess.
Okay. Okay.
I'm worried about your vision of marriage. If you're worried about a hammer.
You have to be married to have a hammer. It's quite
Absolutely.
interesting.
Now that with the coffee thing, I think that would help tell us he is married.
Yeah, but we didn't know then, so I don't know. That was just a wild guess from one of us, and we went with it.
Sorry, sorry, I had a short cut. So what did you say about the personality traits?
We went with the guess that he's married.
Yes.
So we said that he has to be responsible and he has to be funny at times because of making bad jokes.
Okay.
and with that jokes comes this positivity, and also having a family comes with a huge responsibility. So our three major traits were positive, funny, and responsible.
Fantastic.
Interesting. Yes, that's very nice.
Funny, responsible. Okay.
That's quite interesting. We will listen to the other groups. I like the way you have to be married to have a hammer. It's quite interesting, yes. Let's hear about groups 2. I don't know who were in group 2. Can someone from group 2 show up? Show off? Show up. Who was in group 2? I cannot see. Vivian, are you from group?
No.
Hello. Can you?
No, I was in group 3.
Okay, so let's start. Group 3, go on. You are on.
Okay.
Can you tell us about what was your conclusion about man or woman? Or I don't know, maybe.
Who was in the group? Who was in this group? Vivian?
Yeah, I was in group 3.
Yes, and who were you were not alone in group 3.
No.
So who was with you?
I'm here as well.
Agnieszka, I think, yes?
Yep, it's me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm too in group 3.
Okay, so
Me as well.
Can you tell us about your interpretation, your detective activity? According to you, are those objects for a man or do they belong to a man or a woman?
Not say none.
Sorry, I did not hear.
Could you speak up?
Well, we think that he is definitely man because of the hammer.
Okay.
Mm.
About 40 years old.
40? Why?
Yeah, because of the film Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
It's a movie from 1984.
Yes, true.
We thought also that he's from the middle class, but after you said that this is a fancy French pen, I'm not sure how people do have it.
Yeah.
So it might be an educated one.
Educated.
Handyman, can fix things. So maybe we thought it's a single guy, but right now I'm thinking that maybe he could have a family.
He was married. I think he was married.
You said you was married, Vivian, yes? So you didn't agree in the group?
We did, but now I'm, changing.
Because of the fancy pen, okay.
Yeah, because we were thinking that it's glasses, so.
Oh, okay.
What about the personality?
Hardworking, for sure.
Yeah, hardworking.
I think also he's a kind of making something out of his hands or something. So creative. So I don't know.
So handy.
Handy, yeah.
And classic.
Classic,
not classy. But with a pen, probably classy too.
So classic.
Because of the movie, for example.
Interesting, yes. So
we have quite a lot of similarities between the two groups for the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
40. About the top one, you said it was middle class, but I haven't heard. Was he about the educational level? What did you say?
You said educated.
Educated. Okay.
What do you mean by educated?
I think he has higher education, to be honest, if he affords that kind of pen.
Say again? Could you repeat?
I think he has like higher education if he affords an expensive.
Okay, you have a fancy pen if you have had higher education. Okay. The royal family have fancy pens in Britain, but they don't all have higher education.
I think he might be educated, but he loves making something out of, as being handy or making something out of his hand.
Okay.
Okay, that's
interesting.
Fancy pen, yeah.
Sounds like the perfect husband to me.
Let's wait about the last group before you marry him, Alisa. So the last group?
The group is
in the last group. Group 2.
Hello.
Hello. Who is speaking? Sorry. I still have the feeling Vivian was in group 2 and 3.
No, I was in group 3. I was in group 3, not 2.
Okay. Who was in 2?
2?
Not in group 2.
Who was in 2? Sorry, Vivian. Who?
I was in group 2. And
is Thomas
other. So we think he's a man in the middle age, like 35 to 40 years old. I'm not sure with this education level. Maybe somebody from my group can help me.
We think he is educated, maybe 1 or 2 university degrees. So we think he's educated.
Okay, university indicated. Single, married, or whatever?
Well, we think he's single.
Why?
Well, I don't know. Because of the hammer and the coffee, I think. We think he lives alone.
A poor lonesome cowboy drinking coffee and using hammer. Okay, and then we have the socioeconomic status.
Well, we think he's from the working class.
Working class, okay.
But we too didn't know that the pen was very expensive, so I don't know.
He might have steal it or something like this. We never know. And then personality.
So we think he's creative, hardworking, and self-reliant.
You said hardworking?
Creative, hardworking, and self-reliant. He can
self-reliant, yeah. What was the third adjective?
Creative.
Creative, okay. Hardworking, self-reliant, creative. Yeah, that's interesting.
We can see many. You did agree on many things. You came to, for all of you, this is a man. For all of you, around from 35 to 40. And then we come to differences between. No, you all said he was educated. University. Because of the pen, no? But there is something strange. University, working class, handyman, creative. You see what happens because of the hammer. So we can see that you have some kind, we always have some kind of associations, automatical association. Hammer means man. Coffee, I don't know with the coffee. Yes, it was a man working hard and so on. Do you want to have the answer? Do you want to know?
Can I just say what I thought? I thought it was a woman because I thought she put a hammer so we would think it's a man.
You are vicious.
So it's probably a woman. And because the hammer was a nice hammer with a bit red on it, red pink. So I thought it was possibly a woman from that point of view. I thought somebody older than you did, but that's maybe because I am older than you. Because of the pen, and I don't know, the Indiana Jones, if you're 35, Indiana Jones 84, so you were 2 when Indiana Jones came out, so I don't know, I think maybe older for that.
Yeah.
I imagine, I don't know why, I imagined the hammer was, for example, if it was snowing and you needed to get rid of the snow with a hammer. I didn't think of a handy person. Because of the pen and because of the coffee, I imagine somebody, but I also agree with you, most of you, somebody educated. I thought not married. I thought not married unless the pen was a present, because if you're married, you don't, and with children, you don't have enough money to buy a Mont Blanc, even if you are at a high educational level. Yeah, maybe hardworking, but also liking to watch older films and drink coffee. So quite well balanced, I'd say. And a bit different because Indiana Jones and the pen slightly different. So I was a little bit different to you.
Yeah.
And I thought it was possibly a woman, but I'm not absolutely sure. Okay, Katy.
Okay. I will not leave. Can you see me here? No, I don't know how to do it. I don't want. Yes, I will do that so you can. No. Okay.
So we see the picture now.
Can you see the picture? I would like you to see me, but can you see? Yes, you can see me. Well, you are not so bad. I must say, Alison is the winner. This is a woman.
It's you.
It's me. This is my hammer. And I assure you that I'm a woman. Sorry, I'm not a man. So you see, you can be, I think, as Alison said, I make this little trick. I thought by picking this hammer in my house, you would associate it with a man. So I've been a little silly. And as you can imagine, I'm a little more than 35. I'm around 50, so you are not so bad. Thank you for giving me 40. So I like Indiana Jones, but of course now you do not have any more DVD, I think. You watch movies, so you could. This was an Indians telling you, I drink sometimes coffee. As you know, I'm a doctor, PhD doctor, so I'm educated, coming from middle class. I'm hardworking, not bad. I think
Yes.
at least we can say that.
You are very hardworking, yes. And creative, yeah.
And thank you, I'm well balanced.
And the Mont Blanc, yes, I will come to your house and borrow your pen.
It was a present for my PhD.
Okay.
And I have, well, I used to be married, but I killed my husband with my hammer, so I'm not married anymore.
Right. The one thing, cannot fix things, is not handy, cannot make things out of her hands.
No, no, I'm not handy at all.
What do you use the hammer for if it's not?
So when I got divorced, my ex-husband told me, take the hammer. So it can be useful. So now I can use it, for example, when I want to have a picture on the wall or something like this. That's all I can do with it. A small picture on the wall.
Interesting, very interesting. I never guessed it was you, Ketty.
No.
No.
That's quite interesting because Alison and I have been knowing each other for more than 10 years. So you see what is happening. Because I knew by picking these objects, I was playing. And I knew so. But you see what has happened for everybody having a. When you have an hammer, you are a man. We have this kind of representations and references, but they can be different from one to other people, of course. And sometimes we are locked in cultural habits, but sometimes do not forget that we can play with your interpretations. And I think you have to be conscious that we do have these associations because we have some cultural representations, and Alison is going to tell you more about it.
Yes. Do you want me to continue now? When are we going to the break? It's 10:24.
Maybe we can.
We do the Hofstede first, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you have the.
I'll do the following one.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, just a little test, another test. You probably seen this before. It was on the internet a lot, and we find it very interesting to see what people see and what color we see in this. I don't think there is a chat. Is there a possibility for chat? Just put the first one, Katy. Yeah. Okay. So could you tell us quickly which colours you see? Just as somebody, could you speak? Because I can't see there's a chat.
I can't see the chat either. So.
For me, it's gold and white.
So golden and white. Gold and white. Okay, yeah.
Same.
Who else can see gold and white?
Me.
For me, blue and black.
You can see black and blue. Okay, black and blue, gold and white.
That's it. Blue, violet and black.
Uh-huh.
And black. Wow. I see pink and white.
You see pink and white with the dress. Okay.
Yes, with the dress, pink and white.
Uh-huh. Any other colours that people can see?
You can see both black and blue and white and gold. But I think it's white and gold.
You think it's
white and gold?
Black and
no, white and gold. I think that's white and gold. But I can see both of them.
You can see both. Yeah, that's quite unusual, isn't it? Yeah. I see gold and blue, and I find it impossible to see black. I've tried, but I find it impossible.
Is that blue or brown or something? I don't know.
Another comment? Could you repeat your comment?
I was thinking maybe a kind of brownish.
Yes. It could be seen as brownish. It could be gold, couldn't it? It depends on. With the brownish, do you see white or do you see blue?
No, I'm saying, is that blue or violet? Blue? It doesn't. For me, I think it's violet. Violet.
Violet. Okay. Yeah. I think there's no correct answer. A lot of people see it in a different way. It's very, very interesting. This dress, you probably remember, it was on internet a few years ago, and the person just posted it to show what the dress was like, and then there was a huge reaction because some people saw it black and white, some people saw it black and blue, some people saw gold, some people saw pink, more rarely, I think. And the point being that we see things in different ways, even if we think they are the same. It will depend on a lot of things. It will depend on our eyesight. Some people are colorblind. Some people are not. It will depend on where the photo is positioned, etc. But we perceive the world in different ways. There's another example, Katie. Okay, what about this one? What colors do you see on this tennis shoe?
That's ash color, ash and green. That's not green. Lemon green.
So green and
lemon green and ash color.
Lemon green and what was the other color?
Ash color. Is that ash color or what? Okay.
I don't understand what an ash color is.
Yeah.
Tell me 1 minute.
Gray?
Gray, yeah.
Okay, gray. Yeah.
Like ash, Alessandro.
Okay, it's ash color. Oh yes, very, very creative. So gray and lime, so gray and green. Any other colors?
I see pink and white.
Pink and white, yes. What else? Some of the men?
Again, I can see both.
You're incredible, aren't you? Yes. You are so what do you see? Say again.
I can see both white and pink and gray and blue, but to be honest, I think it's white and pink, and just the light is slightly odd.
Okay. Because I see pink and green.
I see pink and white again.
I definitely see pink and pale green. Yeah, could you? I'm sorry, the person who can. I don't know your name. The person who can see all the different colors.
Yeah, hello.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, my name is
Gabriel. What
yeah,
Gabriel?
Is that right?
Why do you think you can see everything like that? Do you have supervision or?
No, but like I put my brain to see. To be honest, the white, I see it as a blue, but I think of the light might be odd, and that's why that is a white. But because of the light, we see it as blue. And like I force my brain to see the pink, and if I see the pink, then I can see the white too. I don't know how to explain it.
So you're sort of playing with the different kinds of perception. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. What about the green? The green. I see the laces as green.
Yeah, me too, normally, but I think it's because of the light, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the light has something to do with it. But one of the students we had a few years ago when this came out said he could see black on the dress and he couldn't understand why anybody could see another color. And he said it's not possible. But I can see that this group, you are much more open because you can entertain the possibility of seeing different colors, and Gabriel can see all of them. So that's you can see the rainbow. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, thank you very much. So perception is very different according to lots of different factors. One of the models that we use when we talk about culture is the iceberg. Why do you think we use the idea of an iceberg?
This was a question, this one.
I think that because we only see like what's above, but the iceberg is actually much bigger under the water.
So we see things above the iceberg, but much more below the iceberg. Could somebody think of perhaps what we see above the iceberg? What do we see when you first? Everybody has been abroad in this group. Everybody has worked at least virtually with different countries. When you go to a different country, or when somebody comes to your country, what do you see first? What do you notice when you arrive at the airport or the train station? What differences do you notice which you would say were above the iceberg? Can you give me some examples?
I would say language, definitely.
Language?
Language, or if you're on a vacation, probably like food, drinks, clothing.
So food, clothing, will be obvious. Yeah, okay. Language maybe more complicated because you hear the language, but you might not understand what you're hearing. I think usually we put language above and below the iceberg. It's both probably.
And also, like, if you think about language, it's not just the verbal stuff, but also like body language.
Yeah.
Which is probably could go either under or above, because you see it and you notice it, but not sure if you understand it, because for some countries, like the nodding yes and no has the opposite meaning as we know in Europe, for example. So there are.
That's true.
Yes, in Bulgaria, is it the Bulgaria saying, how do you say no in, no, how do you say yes in Bulgaria is no in other countries, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Somebody Bulgarian, you're not Bulgarian, are you, Adam?
No, I'm Hungarian.
Somebody Bulgarian?
Yes.
Could you show us on the screen? Is it possible?
Can you see me?
Hi. Yes, we can. Yeah. Could you say no?
Well, it's a lot of people do both. This for no, this for yes. So if I say no, I would say I think this.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, but sometimes I catch myself doing it the other way. So
okay, it's very interesting. When the first time we came to Sofia with students, and they wanted to get a taxi, and they said we asked lots of taxi people, and they kept saying no, no, no. And the Bulgarian students said, oh, they were saying yes, yes, yes. Yes, it's very interesting. I think in India too there is that gesture. Yeah, so gestures can be above, but we may not understand why. Any other ideas of things which are above the iceberg?
I think also facial reaction, facial interpretation. The face.
Could you give an example?
Yeah, should I say when I was in Finland?
Yes.
The face alone, I became scared. I was like, maybe they wouldn't answer me if I want to ask a question. The face was so like tough, hard.
Yeah, I imagine that there are quite a lot of differences between Poland and Finland in terms of expression, because in Finland people tend to speak more slowly, I would say, with more pauses in between them speaking, where in Poland it would tend to be more quickly. Is that the case?
Yes, if I can compare that with Lithuania. Lithuania was kind of friendly. Before I could ask a question, someone said, okay, I will help you to do that. It was interesting. Yeah. But Finland, they were like I didn't have this attention at first.
Okay, yeah. Is there anybody else from Finland here today? I think not, maybe. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so things above the iceberg and then below the iceberg, what things would be very difficult to understand in your country? We have some examples here.
Yes.
That is put up. For example, the heroes that you have in different countries, who is popular and who isn't popular. In France, Napoleon, they were just celebrating the anniversary of Napoleon's death. Obviously, in England, Napoleon is not quite so popular, but of course we did beat Napoleon. So from that point of view, so depending where you come from, can anybody give some examples? Maybe different values or different norms, what we think is normal in your country? A difficult question, perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe we can see it later, because it's difficult this way to think of a value, maybe.
Yeah. What about traditions? Could you tell us something about traditions in your country? That's probably easier to talk about. I've got somebody called Boriana.
Yes.
Could you tell us about traditions in your country?
Well, I don't know if this is common, but we celebrate name days. I don't know if there are, except birthdays, well, we have days which are for names. So last week was Easter in our country, and the week before that, on the weekend, we celebrated all the names who are all the flower names.
Oh,
yes.
We celebrated 1 week before Easter, on the weekend before Easter.
How do you celebrate? That sounds nice. How?
Well, on this particular holiday, we make flower crowns. We go out on picnics, make flower crowns, and have food, drink, and yeah.
Okay, that sounds lovely. Do you know where it comes from, that tradition?
Well, I'm not sure when it started.
I know that.
Yes.
It's from when Jesus entered Jerusalem, and he was welcomed by a lot of people. So that's 1 week before Easter. That's how we celebrate it in Romania. And I think that it has more to do with the Orthodox tradition.
Okay, so a lot of traditions are connected either with religion or sometimes with pagan rituals. For example, May Day. In England, people celebrate May Day a lot, and that comes from a pagan, where you have a maypole, and you dance around the maple, you wear flowers, and it's to do with the seasons as well. Any other examples of traditions in another country?
Yes, just
yes,
a
yes.
minute.
Yes. Somebody was trying to speak, I think.
But it seems it went out.
Maybe Vivian?
Tradition in Nigeria.
Yeah.
As I'm now in Nigeria for so.
I'm sorry, it's difficult to hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, here the network is kind of poor.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, but I can hear. That's okay.
Okay, you can hear. Okay. Here depend on what tradition. We have so many different traditions here. For always hear about maybe burial ceremonies. I didn't know about that until my dad's dead. Before the tradition, before the burial, it's not like Germany where you have within 7 days. No, it takes like 2 to 3 months with so many preparations. Here and there, the family, the culture, the family, the groups are so many. Then you have to have so many appointments. I might even get crazy onto it. So, yes, and it's a very big. Something that you can have like one. Okay, like my father's the burial was up to more than 8,000 persons.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
how extraordinary.
Yeah, that is how far it will go. That's how it's a very big occasion. It's always very, very big.
Okay.
Like you are celebrating Christmas or so. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, it's a pity we cannot see these traditions firsthand, but maybe in the future. Katy, do you have anything to add, or should we move on, perhaps?
We will move on, yes.
Okay. Maybe, Katy, you could talk about this? No, go back. Yeah.
So as we said, we have this above the iceberg and below. And when we are talking about intercultural communication, intercultural problems, maybe it concerns what is below, because it concerns most of the time the values. It's quite easy to adapt with what is above. I mean, of course, you might not like eating snacks, but we do not eat snacks every day in France, and it's quite easy to try one piece and then you do not go further. So what is about food and languages is quite easy to deal with. What we are going to try to look more deeper is about the values, the beliefs, and what can be done about it.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to go on. I think we'll do the Hofstede and then we'll have a break afterwards.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the work of Hofstede, if you've studied any intercultural communication or management. Hofstede died recently. He had been very active all his working life. He died in his late 80s, and he was an engineer and then became a psychologist, and he is one of the most influential researchers in intercultural management. Some of his ideas are quite controversial. We are very careful with Hofstede's ideas because we think they are useful, but not to be taken as the absolute truth, because they talk about groups of people who work for IBM, and they also tend to see a country as a whole and not individuals. So we are a little bit not suspicious, but we don't completely agree with all of this, but we do find it useful as a first entry into looking at cultural differences. And I think the next bit, there's a picture of me with Hofstede. I was lucky enough to meet Hofstede. You see, he was already quite elderly, fascinating person. Okay, Katie, next slide. This is great. So the different, maybe you could put them all on together. So different indexes that Hofstede looked at. He looked at power distance. And I'll explain that a bit more in a minute. And the difference between if a country is individualist or collectivist. He looked at, this is the most controversial one, he looked at whether a country was more masculine or feminine. And a lot of people, including us, don't like this so much because the feminine countries were the ones with all the soft skills and the touchy-feely, etc., etc. And the masculine ones were the strong, powerful. So we didn't like that so much, but it is quite interesting to see that some countries, there's a big difference between roles between men and women, and other countries not so much. Okay, and then there's something called uncertainty avoidance, whether or not we are ready to take risks. And we're not going to talk about this very much today, but typically the American culture would be very low uncertainty avoidance. They would like to take risks. They would, the self-made man or woman, a company, and then places like France has high uncertainty avoidance. So not many risks, not many people working for themselves, lots and lots of money in the bank, saving money for a rainy day. Places like Germany too are high uncertainty avoidance. And then we have attitudes to time, whether or not you plan things for short term or long term. Typically, again, American would be, a business plan would be short term, whereas in China, some of the business plans are 100 years. So very, very different. And the last one is a new one. And again, we won't look at it today, but it's, if you have time, you could look at it yourselves. Indulgence versus restraint, which countries are very, very strict and have a lot of rules on behavior, and which countries are much more indulgent. And that's quite interesting. Okay, so we're going to look in more detail on two, power distance and individuality. And power distance, so here we have the explanation that Hofstede gives. So I'll read it because it's probably easier. The extent to which the less powerful members of organizations and institutions, like the family, accept and expect that power is distributed unequally. This represents inequality, more versus less, but defined from below, not from above. It suggests that a society's level of inequality is endorsed by the followers as much as by the leaders. Now, power distance can be measured by things like how many layers there are in a company. Is there the director, the next director, the company, the group leader, the deputy group leader, etc., etc. Are there lots of layers of hierarchy? Or are there what we call a flat hierarchy, where there would be not many layers at all? And typically, again, the United States would have a low power distance, and other countries, I won't mention because I'm going to ask you to think about it, would have a high one. So in high distance, there would be typically the father would be more powerful in the family, and the head of a school. There would be more hierarchy at the university, for example. You might call the dean of the university His Excellence, etc., etc. Or you might call him Bob, depending on where you are. So if Katia put the next slide, we have some examples. So this is in alphabetical order. So if power distance is very high, it's 100. If it's very low, it's 0. There is no country at all where it's 0. I've written some of the countries represented in this group on the list in alphabetical order. And without looking it up on your phones, try and think just for a minute which country you think would have a very high score and which country you think would have a very low score. So the lowest on our table here is 33 and the highest is 100. And with the countries we have Bulgaria, Croatia, etc. I'm sorry, I don't have Poland. I don't have Germany there, but I have it on my map afterwards. So maybe just throw out some ideas. Which country do you think has a very, very high power distance, where the state would decide a lot of things, for example? Which one do you think is 100? Any ideas?
I would say Spain, of course.
You say?
No, I was joking. Hungary.
Hungary?
Mm-hmm.
And would you agree? People from Hungary, do you think there's a very high power distance in Hungary?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Well, you're wrong, but never mind. I was very surprised actually, because I expected it to be high in Hungary, but apparently there are a lot more Eastern Europe countries which have a higher power distance than Hungary. And Marianne explained it, but I can't really remember what she gave as an explanation. But in fact, Hungary is 46. It's pretty low.
Yeah.
Well, it's lower than 50. I think because maybe in business, perhaps it's more informal. Maybe you don't have experience of business.
Maybe
yeah. So it's another country from Eastern Europe, which is 100. Any ideas?
Would that be Romania?
Romania, yeah, you're nearly right. Romania is 90.
Oh.
Okay, so it's pretty high, but even higher than Romania is another country. And I was thinking of it because when I first went there, I was summoned to see the dean, and the invitation was His Eminence would like to see you in his office. And that was, is there a country where you still call the dean or the rector His Eminence?
No.
Okay, well maybe this was about 15 years ago, maybe, so maybe it doesn't happen now. But the one with a score of 100, according to Hofstede, is Slovakia. Slovakia has a score.
I can't believe, but we don't call it like eminence.
Okay, that's changed. Yeah. Could you comment on that, perhaps? A high power distance.
Do you agree? Do you have the feeling in Slovakia this is a high power distance or not?
Like I don't have this kind of feeling, but I think we are more formal, maybe in work or at work or at some state institutions and so on. Yeah, it's probably true, but I think that it's getting better.
Yeah. This was also, Eva, this was an estimate. Because a lot of the figures would not, Hofstede did a lot of research, but some of the countries, there was not so much access to information. Maybe there was no IBM anyway, because it's mostly people. So it's an estimate, but yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, what do you call the rector now? Is there a title?
It's rector.
Okay, you don't have His Eminence, because I was very.
We use these. We use these titles like professor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
The same in France.
Okay.
I don't know. France would be 70.
So France is pretty high. France is, let me just check a bit. Right, 68. Yeah, well done, Katty. You're getting to know Hofstede. What do you think is the low one? Somebody has experience of this country that she has been talking about. Spain is relatively low, but it's 57. So it's kind of in between. The low one is Finland. Okay, could you go to the next one, Katy? We have the answers. Okay, so Slovakia 100. It sounds like the Eurovision Song Contest. Romania 90, Croatia 73. Okay, so all those countries are pretty high. France is also pretty high. We have our director is on the top floor, and there is a carpet on the floor. And there's no carpet anywhere else. It's called the étage moquette in French, meaning the floor with the carpet. Spain again pretty high, and then Hungary. I'll have to ask some specialists on Hungary why, but Hungary is relatively low and Finland very low, and that doesn't surprise me. The Scandinavian countries in general are very low. Okay, so we'll go a bit quicker now. Perhaps the next one, I've just got my little flags to show you in a different way with some different countries. Okay, so if you could just keep pressing, because we've got the animation there.
Yes. Okay.
So the UK is pretty low. Germany.
Germany too, yes.
Yeah.
Hungary. Spain. France, I knew.
So Morocco and Bulgaria are the same, 70. Croatia a bit higher. You can go faster, Katy.
Sorry. Okay.
No, go back.
Sorry.
Can you go back to the flags?
Back.
Yeah, okay. So just to say that China, I thought that China was the highest, and then I discovered Romania and Slovakia were higher. So that was interesting. Yeah. Okay, and then the next slide shows, so there tend to be blocks of countries that have similar ideas. So typically the northern countries, the English-speaking countries, will be lower power distance. And people are quite surprised at Britain because they think it's high because of the royal family and so on. But in fact, in business, no. Okay, so very quickly before we have our break, we'll go on to the next Hofstede. So individualism versus collectivism. So the degree to which individuals are integrated into groups. Now, all societies are organized in groups, but in some countries, the individual is seen as more important than the group. In the individualist side, we find societies in which the ties between individuals are loose. Everyone is expected to look after him or herself and his or her immediate family. Whereas on the collectivist side, we find societies in which people from birth onwards are integrated into strong, cohesive in-groups, often extended families. So this is a clue if a country has an organization where uncles, aunts, grandparents are very much together, often live together, and you protect your family more than you protect the individual. Okay, so again, we have the list in alphabetical order. Just very quickly, how do you feel about that? Which country? So if it's high, it's an individualist country. If it's low, it's a collectivist country. So how do you feel about your countries? Do you feel it's more collectivist, or, for example, Romania? Where would you put Romania there?
I would put Romania very low here, like 33 or 30, but I think 30 would be.
Yeah. What could you say why?
Because I thought about the power index too, and I think it has to do with countries that were occupied by the USSR. So it was mostly to do with communists. And we are still very collectively, because even communism was like that. Like it's we, not me.
Absolutely. Yes. You're quite right. Romania is 30. And there's another country which is 30. Any ideas?
Slovakia.
It's not Slovakia. It's Bulgaria. But it's, it's a similar kind of profile. Okay, Slovakia is well, we'll see in a minute. Okay. The other very low, so very collectivist, is Croatia. Okay. And then Slovakia, you can maybe put the answers now, Katy, because we're going more quickly. You go to the next slide. Oh, no, go back. In order. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I was.
The emotion is too much for me.
Because I'm used to, this is an estimation. It
Sorry?
means I just need to remember that this is an estimation. It means in general, in Hungary, it's more collectivist,
No,
but
no.
individualism.
It's interesting because it's very American based. So if it's the top score is individualist, Americans are individualist. The low score is collectivist. Americans are not collectivist, and it's rather ethnocentric, in fact. So Hungary, I think, is quite surprising because very high individualist, and also, as we saw, low power distance. So not rather unexpected, I would say, for Eastern Europe, but there are obviously reasons for that, which I don't know. France is high individual too. But for me, as a British person, I find France quite collectivist, actually. Finland, okay, yes, fairly individualist as well. And then Slovakia is in the middle, and Spain too. And then typically a lot of the Eastern Europe will be more to do with the group, and that's also for countries like India, for example, where things are organized often in the extended family. Okay, thank you. You can show the flags. I couldn't move them all for some reason. Could you just go?
No, it's okay.
Carry on.
I was wondering about Nigeria. Viviane, what would you think about Nigeria? Would you say more collectivist or more individualist?
Nigeria.
Nigeria, sorry.
Yeah, Nigeria. When you say auf Deutsch, in English, I think it's Nigeria.
Sorry, yes, I'm mixing languages. I need my coffee. Okay, what about Nigeria? You are coming from Nigeria, yes?
Okay.
What country? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
You are coming from Nigeria, yes?
Nigeria.
Okay, and what would you say, more collectivist or more individualist?
Both.
Both? So in the middle, you mean?
Good answer.
Both is in that officially is supposed to be more collectivist, but sometimes because Nigeria, seriously, we're in a corrupt country, so sometimes things are not done the way it's supposed to be done here.
Typically, African countries would be considered as
African country
collectivist, wouldn't they? But yeah, but as you said, things are changing as well.
Yes, things are changing, of course, but I can't even tell much because I didn't school much here in Nigeria.
You didn't?
I didn't school here much in Nigeria, so
right,
I can't tell so much about the education here.
Okay, and where are you now?
I am here in Nigeria. As you can see, I bowed my head because I just have to bow my head because my dad died.
Oh,
so we just finished the burial. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm in Nigeria now.
Okay.
For the funerals, yes.
Okay. It's interesting. Yeah, yes, I didn't know that that there was somebody from Nigeria. Very interesting.
Yes, there is them. I must do that because I'm not yet married, so that's why. And maybe I'm his most favorite also, so I just must bob my hair, and that is it. And many others.
Okay. Okay.
We were talking about traditions. This is another tradition, yes?
Yes. So yes, of course, yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, maybe you could show the rest of the slides, Katie.
Yes.
I'm so flags. Okay, so look at Australia is very individualistic, and the UK as well. Okay, so I. And I must admit that I prefer the more collectivist societies personally. Which would you prefer, Katie?
I think I'm more individualist.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised. Okay.
Getting older, I'm being more and more individualist.
I have noticed that every single French person I've ever met has always told me they're individualists. And so I think, well, you know,
I guess we try to be, but we are not really.
They have a very collective way of saying that they're individualists. And if you go to the bakers on Easter Sunday and you see the queues of people waiting to buy a cake to take home to grandma, and you wonder about them being individualists. But they say, oh yeah, I'm, you know, French people are individualists. So interesting.
We want to be, yes.
Anybody got any comments about that? Are you surprised? I don't know if our Chinese student is still with us.
Ming-Chen, are you still here? No. No.
Because China is seen as a very collectivist society. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, okay, so let's go on. So there we've got the map again, clusters of countries which would be collectivist, clusters which would be individualist. Nice color there.
Yeah, I like the color.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're going to stop maybe for 10 minutes, Kati.
Yes. Yes. Is that okay? So we make a small break, coffee break, and let's meet again at 11:15. Okay.
11 is. Time is it now? 11:06. So 11:15. Yeah. 15.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, 15, not 16.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we? Okay, we will start again.
It's coming, Gabrielle. Okay, Gabriel.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. Hi. I'm happy now. I can see the names on the right. That's the new thing for me. I've just discovered it.
Boriana, are you here?
Yes.
Okay. I like your name. I find it very nice, Boriana. I think it's very nice.
Thank you.
Does it have a meaning? Does it mean something?
No, it doesn't have a meaning.
Oh.
No. Okay, we will. Okay, so let's go further.
Okay, so that was just some examples. We'll give you the PowerPoint, some examples of different countries. If you could just put the last click once more, Kati. So the first one, the difference between Finland and Slovakia, so quite big differences, okay? You see that Slovakia is seen as a very masculine country, Finland is a very feminine country, etc. And then you see the cluster down the second one, which we've already discussed. Okay, thank you. End of Hofstede.
Now we are going to focus on something quite different about languages, to focus on languages and cultures, because as you know, language expresses reality, but reality, as we've been saying, is quite different, is perceived differently according to your background, to your outfit, to the moment you are living, and so on. And someone called Hall has been working on these languages values. And Hall has pointed out that we can speak about indirect or direct languages. What does it mean? It means, for example, that when you have some direct communication, you try to go to the goal. You try to be clear and to express directly what you want to say. So words are quite essential. The message is quite essential and, let's say, short maybe, but not always. In indirect communication, the goal is to maintain harmony. You don't want you don't feel comfortable with confrontation, so you try to avoid it. And the nonverbal language is quite important. I don't know if you can really see me, but I'm moving my hands like this. So I'm alone in my office and moving my hands as if you were in front of me. So this is a non-verbal language. I cannot.
Where is your hammer?
I'm hiding it. And so in indirect communication, the person delivering the message is quite essential. We will try and see in which kind of communication you feel comfortable. First, as you can imagine, according to countries, we will have more direct or indirect communication. And as you can see, sorry, I'm not so good, so I could not put the little flags here. But you can see that Germany, for example, will be more in a direct communication. Jens, do you agree? Jens, I think you are from Germany, yes?
Yes,
yeah?
right. I'm from Germany. Yes, I agree.
And I
I'm sorry, Jens, I didn't realize you were from Germany. I did have Germany on the flags.
So, for example, talking about direct communication, we were having a party with a German friend, and here I was, French people, French woman, and this German boy was not far from where the bottle of water was, and I was sitting a little further. So I was too lazy, and I wanted him to catch the bottle for me, but I could not tell him, please go and catch his bottle and bring me the bottle. So what I said was, oh, if I were not such a lazy person, I would stand and I would go and catch his bottle. And I was looking at him. And he was just looking, oh yes, I see. And not moving. And there was a French friend beside us. And she was laughing because, of course, she has understood the message. But we had to tell him, please, Tobias, go and get the bottle. So this is the difference between direct communication and indirect communication. Okay, ready to see, for example, yes, Bulgaria, what would you say? Who is from Bulgaria? I don't remember, sorry.
I am.
Okay, so what do you think?
Well, I think maybe more, I don't know, both cases, but maybe many people understand directly when you say
Direct?
Yeah, but I think direct.
Let's see. And for the other, Croatia, Hungary, Romania, can one of you tell us? I think there is one student from Croatia. Leon, I think you are from Croatia, or? No, Leon, no, I don't know.
For Slovakia, maybe I would say that it's more direct, but I am more direct person, so maybe it's my opinion.
Yes. Of course, as you remember, Eva, when we say in general in Germany, they are more direct, but of course, we are, let's not forget that we are individual. So although I'm German, I can be indirect and so on, of course. So let's see how it is. Oh, we don't have the answer.
Wait a minute. Could I just add? But the main differences here with Germany, Finland, and so on, they have been quite documented. But the countries in the box, there is not much information available. But I found some information on a site called the Cultural Atlas, and also from my own experience. And on the Cultural Atlas, they said that, from my perspective, Romania was the most direct country of those countries. And they said that Romanians tended to be honest, abrupt, and frank. They tell it like it is, and they don't hide their emotions or opinions. Okay, I haven't got a lot of experience. I haven't been to Romania, but the Romanians I've met, that would figure. So a lot of emotion and passion is shown, but also it depends on who you are talking to, of course. And then next time would be Hungarians, are also seen as quite direct. They ask personal questions. They don't hide what they mean, and they don't mind criticizing or being criticized. And then Croatians are a bit less direct, seen as a bit less direct, but more, yes, would you mind if, more respectful. And then for the other countries, I didn't find anything. So there we are. Okay, I'll shut up now, Katy.
No, you can. For example, can you tell us if it's direct or indirect communication, and how would you say it? What is your job for you? Do you find it a direct style, or indirect style?
It's direct, I think.
Direct?
Direct.
Yes. And does it shock you, or is it okay to say it? Can I ask you what is your job? Well, you are a student, of course, but would you ask me what is your job if you meet me?
Yes, I think it's possible.
It's possible?
Yeah.
Well, it's quite direct. So could you find a way to ask this question in a less direct way? Because if you come in France, it would be a little too direct to ask, what is your job? What do you do? No, you cannot say that.
I would ask, what is it that you do? Because you never know if the person is unemployed, or
yes,
can say that, or she can say that, oh, well, I'm at home, or something else.
It's a little softer. You're
Is it
right.
true?
Yeah, it
Yes.
would be better. Yeah, to say this way. And for example, Agnieszka, sorry, can you read the following sentence? I think I don't know.
Shall we leave each other now?
Yes.
Should I say something?
Yes, please. Yes, is it direct?
I would say it's pretty direct, but in this case, I think this is the only way to go direct.
Oh, I see.
Break up with somebody.
Yes, do you agree? It's quite funny because you see, as we said, the context is quite essential in indirect communication. And in this case, shall we leave each other now? It was in a meeting and not leaving somebody.
Okay, sorry.
That's quite interesting. It was to put an end to a meeting.
But as I read the sentence now, I agree that, yeah, I read it wrong.
But you're right, it could be a sentence to leave someone, which would be direct, but when you use it to say, okay, the meeting is over, it doesn't sound so direct. You see, the place of the context is quite important in indirect communication. And Ming-Chen, can you read the following one? No, Ming-Chen is not here. Yudikael, are you here? Can you read the following one?
Yes. That is wrong. That is wrong, I think. With this intonation, I don't know, but I think it's more direct, but I'm not too sure. Because of that, I think it's more direct. Yes, it's direct.
Yeah, it's quite direct to say to somebody, oh, that's wrong. And how could you say it in a more diplomatic way? if you don't want to be so direct, how could you do it?
Maybe to give an advice. I don't know.
Can somebody
give some advice?
Can somebody think of something else?
Would you like
maybe like that might not be right or something like that?
Yeah, that might not be right. You like a British person, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, but maybe you have made a mistake.
And you see, last one. I don't know who, Adam?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, can you try and read the last one?
I wonder if you could answer this question.
So does it sound direct or indirect?
It's indirect. Definitely.
And how could you say it in a direct way?
Answer this question.
Go and answer, yes.
Yeah.
So you see, we have a kind of, when you are in a meeting, when you are in a multicultural group, the problem will be that some of you are using direct communication, the other and indirect communication. So you have to pay attention to this. We can try again some other sentences, but I think, oops. If you want to try, we have already made, you are wrong. What about you're late? Can you find another way to put it in a more diplomatically way? Anyone? You're late. I'm always late, by the way.
Maybe you should come more earlier this time.
Yes, a good way.
I'm very good at doing this. I'm used to it. I can't remember what time we said we would meet.
Oh, that's excellent. So as you can see, British people are very good at using indirect communication, implicit. They are very diplomatic. You might think that I could not possibly comment what is meant. What do you think they really mean? If Alison tell you, you might think that I could not possibly comment, what do you think she means? Nothing? She might mean you're wrong. So you see, this is something you have to think about it when you are working in a multicultural group. Do you have any...
Sorry, Katie. I think the interesting one is a great example, because I stupidly told my students when I say, "Oh, that's quite interesting," that means, "Oh yeah, okay, fine." Or it can mean it's wonderful, but it's, "Oh yeah, that's quite interesting," that means not so good. Sorry.
No, it's good if you can. Maybe if you have others to read, to show with the intonation how it works.
You might think that I couldn't possibly comment. For me, that's very aggressive. That's almost too direct. Even I couldn't possibly comment means it's absolutely terrible.
Oh.
It's so terrible. I couldn't even say anything. Yeah, we usually start at 9 o'clock. That's pretty aggressive, I'd say. Yeah. As well, everything is too direct for me. If I were you is a very good expression to remember. And if I were you, I wouldn't do it that way. Okay, that's not too bad. But quite interesting. There's a lot of differences between Americans and British people too. In that way, Americans tend to be much more direct than British people. Yeah.
Okay, so this was another aspect of way of dealing with communication. And if we come to the end, okay, we can. It's your go.
Sorry?
I think it's you're on now.
Okay, so we've come to the conclusion. We expected to have more people involved, so we expected to have more discussion, but I think it's okay if we finish a bit earlier than we decided. So we looked at, particularly with regards to this course, we looked at cultural diversity, what it's like in the workplace, and the benefits from that. And one of the benefits that we thought about was that it could inspire creativity and drive innovation. We'd like you to perhaps comment on your work so far with your groups. Do you think it has the different cultural perspectives have inspired creativity and drive innovation? Of course, it's been very difficult for you because it's all distance, and you're not meeting up like we were hoping to meet up in Spain. But can some people comment on that? I haven't been really following the group work so much. I've read some of the written productions. Do you think you were more creative and more innovatory than you would be in a monocultural group?
To be honest, I can speak from the work I did with my team.
Yeah.
With our product, the application for counterfeit products, and I think that being from having different backgrounds really helped a bit with creativity.
Oh.
Because like we brought something. Each one of us brought something unique to the team because of our cultural background. So I really think it helped with.
That's really interesting. Could you maybe give some examples? It's quite difficult, perhaps, but what was it unique about your different approaches?
Well, to be honest, if I think about it, I'm not sure if it really has to do with cultural background, but it might do a bit. Like it was most to do like who would use our application, because I think about Romanian people who would use our application, and then the others think about Hungarian and Slovakian people, and we try to shape the ideas. I can't think of a concrete examples, but it was something like what to do to please our customers, if he was Romanian or if he was Hungarian or Slovakian or etc. Something like that, but I really can't think of a concrete right now.
Different experience of the market would be very different. Yeah. What about the differences in communication? Did you notice these differences between something direct and something indirect? Or were you all direct when you spoke? Or
we had a girl, Charlotte. She's more direct than the other one, but I don't know if that has to do with the culture. I don't know. We were 3 boys and 1 girl, and the 3 of us, the boys, were a bit more indirect. I don't think it's with the culture.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe she had to be direct to be heard.
No, we
only
listened to
her.
She had great ideas, so maybe that's just how she is. But we like her. She's really nice.
But you're quite right. It's what Katy said at the beginning as well. Obviously, individuals are important. We are products of our culture, but we also produce culture. And so the individuals, everybody from Romania is not the same. Everybody from Croatia is not the same, of course. So yeah, but culture certainly has something to do with it. And the way the market share will be different according to the different cultures would be very interesting if you've got a mixed group. Anybody else? Any other groups? Thank you very much. Anybody else's?
Did you have the feeling you were more productive and you perform better because you were in a multicultural team, for example? No. or to offer a broader and more adaptable range of products and services? No.
Also, when we talk about diversity, we don't just mean cultural diversity, we mean, well, men and women, for example, or people from different class backgrounds, or people from different regions, people if they have a disability or don't have a disability, etc. So it's not just your national culture. How productive did you find your teams? Did you find it difficult working together, or did you find it easy to work together?
From my opinion and according to our team, I think it was very helpful because I can take one example. We had to find a name for our product. And for this, we need to check from our side at the different side if the name that we can choose already exists in our country. And just we check, I check from France, and the other checked from I think Slovakia and Hungary, other countries. And it was very difficult because sometimes I can find a name in France and they couldn't find it in the country. So this kind of, I think, collaboration was very helpful for us and
Yes.
other things else.
Yes, to know that, and sometimes words can be very very bad in one.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think there was a car that was I can't remember what it was called in Spanish, but in Spanish it meant slow, and it was the name of a car, so that was not good. There's a rude example in France. There's a to do with the health system. There's an acronym ARS. Okay, I can't remember what it means in French, but it's to do with something to do with medical things. And of course, in England, it means what you sit on, arse. So that makes us really laugh. And there was a European group as well, which was called SHIT, which obviously is a rude word in English, you know. So yeah, very, very important to know what the different words are and to share that. What about somebody else's group? Did you find you were productive generally in your group, or did you find it difficult? I know you have lectures at the same time. That makes it quite hard. Was it difficult to get everything ready?
Yeah, in my team it was a little bit difficult because we had fewer meetings. We couldn't meet more throughout the week because everyone has different schedules.
Yeah. So that made it difficult. Did you manage to produce something, or are you still working on your production?
We managed to produce something, and we are still improving it. Yeah.
Okay. And this is to do with the distance as well, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody talked about the time zones as well. Yeah. One of the questions we ask when students have been abroad or have had an experience working with different cultures is, do you think you have changed? Do you think it changed your attitudes in any way? We put here, diverse teams are more productive and perform better. Do you agree with that? And do you agree? No, sorry. Personal and professional growth. We've done productive and perform better. Do you think that you have changed in any way? Any attitudes that have changed? I find working with people from different cultures has made me try to be more patient. I'm more impatient, particularly because often it's in English, and of course English is my mother tongue, so it's easy for me. And sometimes it's a bit difficult to work in English. Did anybody find that a problem working in English? Or find it an advantage? Maybe one of the Gabriels or Adam? Adam, maybe we haven't seen for a little while.
Yeah, sure. In our group, I don't think English was a barrier or an obstacle of any kind. I think we had no problems communicating. We were very productive. We were also very conscious about dividing up the tasks between each other. So
Right.
I think we developed a method which is best or most efficient for our group pretty early on. So we were very productive. We were very efficient in our work throughout the whole project. So I would say we were definitely good in that sense.
Okay. Do you find that you changed in any attitudes, or maybe you already were used to working with people from different countries?
I wouldn't say I was used to it, but I'm in a teacher training program, and English is one of my majors. So, and at our university, there are many Erasmus students from different countries, and I had classes with them a couple of times. Yeah. So in that sense, I'm not new to this experience, but I always find it very interesting. And I think you can always learn something.
Yeah, absolutely. Even at my age, you can learn something. Yeah. Yeah, and you have an excellent level of English, so that helps, of course. And I'd say generally you have in the group, the students have a very good level of English. And when we started these projects 20 years ago, it was not the case. The students had a lot of problems with English. But now I am very impressed by the level of English. Thank you, Adam. Anybody else have any comments on that slide? Do you think that you got the best talents from a diverse team? Anybody think they changed? Anybody have difficulties?
No. We can give example of challenges. Maybe it will help you to find other answers. Everything is not always perfect, so here are some challenges that were in multicultural teams that have been noticed. So I don't know, maybe did you meet them too or not? Do you find them
I think the formats of how many people in the team, 4 or 5?
5.
Yeah, I think that's a good format because not too many people. Adam, you have an answer for Katie?
Yeah. For me personally, the biggest challenge was I always feel like, even during this workshop, I feel like I tend to talk too much. And I'm always afraid that I'm kind of suppressing other people from the group. So I always try to improve on that regard and try to pull in everyone so everyone can contribute in a sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. But.
Yeah, yes, of course. But don't worry, no, you do not steal the place, the room for people. No, it's a good balance, I think, because you wait and give a chance to other person to speak. So don't worry. And we always, in a group, we always need someone to start speaking. J'ai l'impression que j'ai perdu la connexion. Oops, I think I lost the connection. Oh my God.
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm still with people. Okay. I had the feeling I had lost the connection. Other challenges from you would like to share with us? Because when we have an intercultural approach, it doesn't mean we will say, oh, everything is so nice, everything is so easy, and it's a wonderful world when you meet other people. Sometimes it's not that easy. And you just have to be conscious of this so you can go over it. So we had some professional communication, difficult. It can be sometimes difficult to understand each other because of the language, because of the hidden values, or anything else. I don't know, that's because of this computer. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm saying, je sais pas si
Betty, we can hear you. It's okay.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what. Something is very strange for the. Okay. Anyway, if you. No, you. It seems that you found everything very easy, and it was a most positive aspect when you have to, when you did work together, and that's quite nice. But for if I. That's a good thing. Of course, it's more difficult when it's online, as we can see for the moment. Sometimes we have the feeling we're just alone on
I'm so sorry.
on an island. Something happened to you, Alison, yes?
I was ejected from the system.
Okay.
I don't know what happened to me. I was lost in cyberspace.
So this can be the challenges of working online, but as you manage to do, as you said, you manage to be productive and to be efficient and innovative and creative. So this is excellent. We will be, we are looking forward to seeing your productions on Friday. So hope you will be ready on Friday. And if you have any question, of course, we are ready. Otherwise, thank you very much. It was very nice and very special. I'm turning my head to the side of this. And thank you for your participation. It was very nice to see you and hear you.
Yes, thank you very much too. I'm sorry that I got thrown out at the last minute. I don't know what happened. Lovely to hear a lot of you, and as I said, with such a good level of English and participation. And I will look forward to hearing your presentations on Friday. Enjoy the rest of the week, and thank you very much.
Thank you.